Okay, good evening. Welcome to this regular scheduled business meeting of the Summersville City Council on this 26th day of August 2024. I'd like to welcome all of our guests this evening and move right into tonight's agenda. The first item on the agenda is consideration of the council minutes of the meeting we held on August 12th, 2024.
Move to approve and waive the reading.
Second.
Okay, council, we have a motion. The motion was to waive the reading. Are there any changes or amendments to those minutes as they were presented in your packages? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Public comment?
No, sir.
Nobody signed up for public comment. Moving right along. Okay, the next item on the agenda is Consolidated Public Retirement Board. Yeah, we're gonna have to
Short
pause.
intermission.
I've gotta go grab my,
Short intermission.
Can I get something for you?
you probably don't have the sheet that Cookie did on the money. Yeah. Yeah. So, incidentally, what happened is, Chief Nowak went to the retirement board to reconcile his retirement account for his potential retirement sometime in the future. And it was discovered that the retirement board did not have his correct start date. So then after an internal audit of the city, it was discovered that back in the day, employees were not automatically put on the public retirement system. And just straight up, it was a financial, the best I can surmise looking at records that are 30 years old, it was a financial deal that employees didn't automatically get put on the retirement. So then it brought causation to do an audit across our entire footprint. And of course, that was an easy audit because we don't have a whole lot of employees that have the kind of tenure that, of course, Jay is number one and Dee Dee is number two. So immediately what we did is we moved to the retirement board to figure out how to rectify the situation, which they quickly said that if they've not signed anything that denied them taking retirement, of which they did not, there's no record of, that what we had to do was back up and make their retirement whole. So I'm here to tell you tonight that we have the work was done by the Public Retirement Board, the state, and so Jay's date is 10/13 of 87 to 12/31 of 88. And so to add to his retirement what needed to be added to make him whole, he has to pay $641.88 as an employee. That's what he would have paid into the retirement board. And the city has to pay interest and what we would have paid for him, dating him back to the correct date of 10/13 of 87. The city has to pay $16,723.51. And after consultation with Jay, he has got the ability to pay the $641, so therefore we would pay the $16,700. And these numbers per the state retirement board are good until the end of this month. On the other hand, so that's, I'll just go ahead and give you Dee Dee's numbers while we're at it, and then we'll run through the agenda and approve both of them. Dee Dee too was shortened days, and she needed to be backdated well, let me tell you what the dates were that Jay missed. In Jay's retirement, he was missing from 1987, from 12/31, no wait, let me correct that. He was missing from 10/13 of 87 to 12/31 of 88. That's the time period that he was missing. Dee Dee's was a little worse. Dee Dee's was her dates that she actually started on 2/1 of 87 and didn't start in the public retirement plan until 8/30 of 90. So she was missing from 87 to 90. So Dee Dee has to pay $1,565.55, and the city has to pay $39,892.91. After consultation with Dee Dee, she too has the ability to write the check for $1,565.55, and therefore that makes the city's payment for her $39,892.91. We have the money in the current budget that we can go ahead and make these payments because they have to be made by the end of this month. And then therefore what we'll do when we do our first carry forward, we'll adjust the budget and put monies back in that we're taking out to make these payments in the carry forward. The other thing that I just want you to know, for the record, by state law, if the employee wasn't able to make their payment, we would have to make it for them. That's by West Virginia code, and then work out a payment installment plan for them with payroll deduct. But both Jay and Dee Dee have assured us that they have the ability to make those payments. So they'll make their payments, and then we'll add our monies to it and send it into the Public Retirement Board and make their retirements whole. Okay, so let's go ahead and put Jay's in the form of a motion, and then we can discuss.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we've got a first and a second. Any questions or discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Consolidated Public Retirement Board correction of error, amended start date for Lona Fillinger. Per official records of the city, retirement contributions were not remitted from 2/1 of 87 to 8/30 of 90. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, a first and a second. All those, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Okay, council, we'll remit that money this week along with their money and make their retirements whole. Next report, recorder's report.
No report this evening. Thank
No
you.
report. Okay, mayor's report. So again, I would like to kick off with just going down memory lane for a minute on a wonderful, wonderful groundbreaking celebration and ceremony for the 128-acre Summersville Recreational Complex. Again, I can't say enough about all the people that helped bring that project together under the leadership of my administrative assistant, executive administrative assistant, Mary Ann, and then of course Tim Hypes. They worked side by side, but many people helped, and of course city employees. And as I opened my comments that night to say that nothing happens without partnerships and collaborations in this city, and that's just, can't say that enough. You know, we had private businesses help us, Tractor Supply, you know, one of the the La Rosas came out, and Little Rod did an unbelievable amount of work cutting for us and working his people, endless hours. And I'm sure that gets attributed to one of their many companies, so it would be La Rose something, La Rose Motors something, I don't know.
Probably Midstate Properties.
Midstate Properties, yeah, I didn't know exactly who it was, but I know, and again, he reached out to me, I didn't have to call him, Brian Sparks, initially, because I didn't want to go back to that well. Brian came out and spent a whole day with his own tractor, his own brush hog, and did a bunch of mowing for us. I mean, just any and everybody we reached out to was gracious and willing to help us and support us and excited about what that project's going to be to us. So just to summarize, it was a wonderful celebration and groundbreaking. Now we're waiting for the engineer to tweak the final information for the actual bids to go out for construction, which we should have, I hope, out in the next couple of weeks. When those bids go out, they'll actually be given 30 days, you know, until the bid closing. And then immediately after we find out what the work is we're asking to be done cost, then the next step will be to put it out to bid to the banks. We'll fast track all that and expedite it as quick as we can. Exciting times, because there is a slim chance that we might move some earth this year, at least on the entrance, but again, it's all going to be to the whole process that we still have to go through. So last week was a huge, exciting week for the city. Not only did we break ground on the 128-acre recreational complex. But we also, the day before, closed, and I have in hand right here the deed on the 7.99 acres that we purchased next to the high school to get our visitor center underway. So catching a breath, some of those pieces are in play. Right away, we're going to start, getting that committee together and formulating, what that project will be. And then again, we've got federal monies already basically banked for us, $1.05 million that's 23 money, another 1.8 million that's 24 monies. And so we've got, and then of course, I also want to highlight that I was fortunate enough to work with Marilyn and her brother. And again, I thank them. As it turned out, I had a meeting I had to attend, and when they needed to close, I couldn't be at the closing, so I signed documents early. I thank Marilyn Marsh and Kermit. We were able to negotiate it down a little bit to $450, and we closed on Thursday. So that project will be underway shortly, and I can anticipate that before the year's out, we'll have our official groundbreaking there. But we in a quick way, we've got to expedite that project to get it underway, especially to tap into the money that we were awarded in 2023. Exciting things. And then an update on the sidewalk. I'm asked all the time about the sidewalk on Webster Road. The contractor, per contract, was given till November to complete that project. And of course, in fairness to the contractor, there was some snags early that was design and engineering by our firm that's working on that project, E.L. Robinson. And so with those changes still in the pipeline to be made, the contractor, I noticed they were back out there today, and you can see they're already building right along the road where the sidewalk's going to sit. The fact of the matter is the contractor has till the end of November to finish that contract, so they do come and go because they're working other projects as well, and there's really not anything from a standpoint we can do except sit and wait for that November date and the project to be completed. And I do anticipate, don't know yet, the change order is still in the works, the change order from what it was to what it's going to be now, with the change that we had to make with the engineering. There's going to be some additional cost to it. Of course, we do have about 20 grand in contingency that was built into that funding of the project, but it's my understanding that it's probably going to take more than that. The state's going to come up with the 80%. At a later date, I will be back with you with a request to put more money in that sidewalk because we're going to owe the additional 20%. They don't fund it 100. But they've assured me that they can come up with the funding for the additional expense at the 80%. We just have to pay the 20. So that kind of updates the sidewalk. I know, we still are patiently waiting for some serious progress on the stormwater project. The environmental work is being completed, and as soon as that's being completed, it's my understanding that that project will go out to bid, and hopefully for those folks that have dealt with that flooding on Kentucky Road, get underway before the year's out. So with that said, the other thing I would like to do, council, and Mary Ann's going to send all of you an email tomorrow. Wildridge is having another open house. They're going to break ground on their second big building, and it's going to be a club room and dining hall. The groundbreaking is set for Saturday, October 5th. And she'll send you an email that'll have all this email in it today and a place where you can register if you're going to attend the event, and they please want you to register. The event's Saturday, October 5th, at 2 p.m. they start an open house. At 4 p.m. is the actual groundbreaking, and they have asked the city to participate in it, so I will be participating in the groundbreaking ceremony, which is another great partner that we have. This is a big win for Nicholas County and also the city of Summersville. And then they actually have a dinner after that. 5 o'clock is dinner, and then they've got activities that include 6 o'clock. They've got the Young Life Club and fun. So when you go on, you actually can register for what you plan to attend. But I would please ask that you consider to find time to attend this ceremony, because it's another big win for us and the many things that are going on in Nicholas County. The next thing I'd like to do is, we received a couple of real positive things about the city of Summersville. And we went through a State Department Health inspection on our water plant. And I gotta tell you, I'm absolutely elated because based upon our available records and visible examination of the facilities, no significant deficiencies were discovered. Your system should be commended. This is coming from the state. Your system should be commending on achieving a level of no significant deficiencies. They say it's unheard of. And so again, kudos go out to our employees for the work they do. They say it's unreal. They came into a water system our size and they do a very thorough inspection that takes days and walk away with no significant deficiencies. And the state put right in their letter, it's unheard of. So your system needs to be commended. So I commend the employees in a big way for all the work they do and continue to do, making our city shine and look good. And not only that, it's got to send a real positive sign to the water quality that we're drinking in the city of Summersville, that the state comes in, the state health department comes in and does an inspection, and we pass it with flying colors. The next thing I'd like to do is I got a thank you, an email, and I don't read these a lot, but I think this is worthy of reading because it just speaks well of, across the board, all of our employees. So this email was sent to the city. I just really want to take time to thank you for your time and generosity for the situation myself and my husband had in Summersville, West Virginia. We'd rented a vehicle in Buffalo, New York for our drive back to Florida, which is where we reside. While driving this vehicle, it stopped dead in the middle of Highway 19 in Summersville. Petrified we were going to get hit by someone. Before we could get it off the side, someone did call to alert the police, and we were in the middle of the road. Within minutes, K-9 officer Nathan, and I believe the chief, and it was the chief, arrived. This happened Tuesday, August 6th, approximately at 11 a.m. Both of them were so kind and generous and got out of their vehicle, got us off the side of the road. They both waited while we got in touch with the rental company for a tow truck. They were even trying to help us figure out what was wrong with the vehicle, but to no avail. It had to be towed. The rental company indicated that the tow would be there, but it would be a while. A big shout out to Officer Nathan. He was very hot and sunny. It was very hot and sunny that day, and he allowed us to sit in his air-conditioned vehicle while we waited. He stayed with us the entire time, which I certainly feel he went above and beyond. He was not willing to just leave us there for the 2 hours waiting outside in the excessive heat. And we could not use our rental for the air conditioning due to the circumstances. For that, I'm so grateful and appreciative. After this fiasco, by the time we were able to swap vehicles with another, we were exhausted and ended up staying in your area for the night. Both my husband and I realized how beautiful West Virginia is. The only time we've ever been there is the many times that we have just been driving through from New York to Florida, never really seeing your land. We were available to experience the beauty of West Virginia on the ride to get a new vehicle and then driving around while we were there for the night. This fiasco has led us both to book a full vacation in our RV in West Virginia to really spend some time and see the beautiful state. I do want to thank your police department, specifically K-9 Officer Nathan. Both him and his boss helped us tremendously during this terrible and horrifying situation, and we're very grateful for their help and kindness. So, to get this from somebody, from New York to Florida, again, it just speaks well of rural America, happening rural America. We treat people like people. It don't matter who you are, where you live. I always say, and I don't try to steal it from the hotel, but we truly do welcome everybody. Our home is your home, and by God, we leave the lights on for you. So anyway, kudos to Nathan and Jay. And again, that's what, to me, speaks well of rural America and our fine cities here in Summersville, that we're willing to go above and beyond to take care of not just our locals, but those that travel through. So I wanted to share that with you all. That concludes the mayor's report. Any council reports or comments?
think when the sidewalk gets finished, I think we ought to have a ceremony out there. I think we ought to block off Webster Road completely and have a ceremony
Yeah,
to open up the sidewalk.
yeah. So,
Grand opening ceremony.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah, so the only thing that I want to make people aware of is, I know it's very chaotic, and I mean, there's been a lot of challenges to it. You know, I didn't realize until Friday that Miss Campbell wasn't getting her mail, and she was having to go to the post office every day to get her mail, so we made arrangements on that. We're going to go in and move her mailbox into the inside of her property, and the mailman will deliver it when he can get to it, but when he can't, we're actually going to send a city employee to the post office to deliver her mail. God bless Miss Campbell. If she can't get out, we'll get out for her. But we've made all those arrangements. So the thing I want to just let everybody know is this is only the beginning, because before this is out, we'll have second phase probably out to bid. And that's going to run us from where we're at now at the end of Miss Campbell's, right there at the gravel driveway that goes out to the pond. That's going to take us from there somewhere down into in front of Sarah Young's property. I would say they'll probably stop at the other side of, names, I'm horrible. The other side of Bogus's driveway. There we go, Bogus's driveway. So, and then we're already in the works for phase 3, which is going to pick us up and take us to North Street. So, I mean, that will be a long project that I know sometimes the hassle and headache of dealing with construction and traffic, but at the end of the day, it's going to get us the sidewalk that we've long needed along Webster Road. And not only that, what I'm really excited about is we're going to take it all the way to the entrance of the new park. So literally kids and adults from town will be able to ride or walk to the park. And so, you know, a lot to put up with and tolerate, but I'm telling you, when it's done, it'll all be worth it. So, any other comments?
Potato Festival.
Potato Festival. Marianne, why don't you get up and give a plug to the Potato Festival? You're the, no, seriously, you're the, again, the chairman of the Potato Festival. Go ahead, Marianne. Step up and give us a rundown. That's, yeah, this is the last meeting before Potato Festival.
Well, it will be on September 6th and 7th, downtown Summersville, but the kickoff will be on September 5th at Kirkwood Winery. There'll be lots of vendors and entertainment. Each vendor, there'll all be food vendors. Each one does have to have a potato dish, and you will be able to vote on your favorites. So it is a great kickoff, so I invite everyone to come to that from 5 to 9. And then, of course, the opening ceremony for Potato Festival will be 5:30 on Friday, September 6th. We have all of the usual favorite activities, a few new things this year. We do have a balloon artist this year, and a couple shows on Main Street. Some twirlers, and also our balloon artist will be doing some juggling acts on Main Street, so we have a little bit of new entertainment going on. Then our entertainment Friday night, which is also a new added event, will be Thomas Mack, upcoming or uprising country star. And then on Saturday at 6:30 will be Matt Jones in the Road, who has been with us before, but he's a big favorite, big local favorite, so we're excited to have him. And then at 8:30 will be Bryce Leatherwood, who is the 2022 winner of The Voice. And then he will finish at around 10, and we will end the festival with our fireworks display. So there's something for everyone at this festival. Lots of food vendors this year also. All of Broad Street will be full of food vendors, and the gravel lot at Court and Main Street will be full of food vendors. So we have more food vendors this year. We have a little more activity going on this year. So lots of great things will be happening. So I invite everyone to come out.
Yeah. And I would go ahead and add to that. I've been waiting for a press release, which I still do not have, and I've been promised, and I've told them they got to get it to me so I can get it in the Chronicle next week. But I think it's important that people realize I will not be here for Thursday and Friday's activity. I was real blessed to be selected to be one of the first classes, what they call the Early Learning Fellowship. Nation's Fellow is what I'm called. And I'm joining 2 mayors from each state throughout the entire nation. in a conference. And matter of fact, we had our first meeting last week, and it was really kind of neat for me to be, they put us in subgroups and just to be networking with other mayors across the nation. And it's all about early childhood education and education. And nationally, they're going after a new piece to try to maybe get local government more tied with education, where a lot of education systems throughout the entire platform of the United States don't have anything to do with local government. This is actually put on by the Bezos Family Foundation in conjunction with the Hunt Institute, which is a huge educational institution out of the state of North Carolina. So I will be attending that conference. I reluctantly, for a long time, held out not doing it, but being one of 2 mayors from the state of West Virginia selected, I agreed to do it. And I will be out of pocket on Thursday and Friday, but I'm catching the Jedi back Friday night so that I could be here for Saturday's activities. So I'll be present Saturday, but I won't be in pocket. So I know a lot of people will be like, where's the mayor? Where's the mayor? Where's the mayor? I'm hoping I've made a great decision, because I think this is really going to bring some incredible networking and opportunities for our community, as I've already found sitting in a room with mayors from Illinois and Iowa and places from all over the country. It's interesting to hear that some of their woes are like our woes, and they have better solutions that maybe sometimes we don't. That's what it's all about, is they're trying to create a national networking with mayors. So I will be out of pocket on Thursday and Friday, and hopefully the press release makes it so it can get in next week's paper the week of the festival. So with that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
The first and the second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, council. Have a good evening.